Welcome all. Today we're going to be playing Northgard, and we're going to do the conquest for the rat faction, which is my favorite faction, by the way. But the rats, each clan has something special about them in Northgard. The rats, a shit ton of people most of the time, and you live where you walk. They can also overwalk, which does not cost anything other than the health of your villagers. But there's a cheat to get around that. When we start up, we build a scout and a lumber mill, whatever you want to call it. Those are the two main things we need. The rest are optional. But the other two out of the four, you can have whatever you want. You can have a house, you can have military, you can have a longship dock, whatever you want. But since we're rats, we start with more people. And the more buildings we build, the more houses we get. Now, the rat clan cannot build any actual houses. They live where they walk, is practically the motto. But each clan member starts with like 75% health instead of 100. But we can recruit shamans to heal them. Shamans are much different than a regular hero. A regular hero can heal everybody in the territory. So whatever land you control, the heroes can heal anybody in that. But they're not military. They can't go outside. Shamans can only heal what's in the zone, but they are military. They can fight for themselves. They can go out. They can conquer anything. And if you have enough of these shamans in different areas and different lands you control, you can just go back to back to back on Overwalk. And all it is, it just reduces some health. So it's definitely worth it. Now, if you're looking at this just to see which clan do you think you want to do, there are a bunch of clans and a kingdom, and, well, a kingdom's coming soon, and clans coming December, or winter. So that's going to be very fun. But do not do this just to figure out what clan you might want to buy for a DLC. There are a bunch of clans, all of them are great. All of them have their own little stuff. Some people are better at one clan than the other. It's practice makes perfect, basically. So do a little more research before you buy anything, and just see how you like each clan. Hell, you might like the Snake clan. Slytherin, if you want to call it that. But, as we get started, this conquest is kobold infestation. So their kobolds pop up randomly and expand faster than usual. We can either ally them or just straight up kill them. Like regular kobolds, just they expand faster. So that's very fun. Most of the main side of the game is just like waiting around for resources to do stuff. But we have two enemy factions, a bull clan, what was it? Bull something like that. And rival rat clan. Now, the AI is not that perfect, but it is very good. It's better than some games. So, let's go on with the rest of the video, and I shall highlight any stuff that needs to be highlighted. I forgot to mention, each clan has their own, different Roy abilities. For the rats, it's stuff to give buff to wounded people, make them cheaper to recruit, and, well, just overcrowding's one of the most powerful, because you can put any here's an example. You have a farm. You can put another farm in that same zone because you have overcrowding. If you have overcrowding. It's a very powerful thing. Can boost a shit ton. But it's only for Rat Clan unless you get the mushroom called thing. I don't remember what it's called. Now it's starting to get to winter. So another thing about the different clans is that the Square Clan does have a overwalking type thing, where they collect a butt ton more food, but they have a big ol' reduction to food, wood, just everything. We also found a wyvern, which wyverns are very tough, and usually they can be taken out relatively easy if you're a dragon clan, mainly because all you have to do is this draconic something and just send one guy at a time to do a shit ton of damage. But getting past that, we now have another territory, the wood territory, so we can get more wood. But we're kind of suffering on some food. Our happiness is a thing as well, which you have to keep that up with taverns and different stuff. But yeah, there's different units of military, but whenever I play rats, I just use shamans. It may seem stupid, but they're very good. Oh yeah, we found a kobold faction that's on the edge of a portal. Kobold factions in the regular game, and I believe in Kobold Infestation, do raid your territory unless you're allied with them. But they will only attack if they need to expand. So getting an offering well is always good. Now, warrior masters or warrior people just give you more warrior, so you can have different warrior abilities. And military experience gives you different special stuff. I will get in that later. But now, moving on. Yes, the military experience. Now, there are 3 paths you can choose. Leadership, which gives you a bodyguard for your thing, and gives you some buffs to different stuff, as long as you have a war chief. Guardian, which helps a lot with defense with a call to arms, which is the militia. Oversight, which is the second defense tower, which is just called watch tower. Suppressive fire, which is good, and then hold line, which is just barricades. But I always go with legions or regents. Military base, more military base we have, the more military experience passively we get. So then we can get to Call of Valhalla easier, which is much, much better than most of the competitive stuff. Okay, moving on. Okay, so this, I've gathered up my military to go fight and get the Thor's Wrath area, which is very good. Also, in Conquest, you do get special abilities for units. For mine, I have whatever kills a unit gets sickness and gets damage over time. Very good. But Thor's Wrath gives a 10% bonus to your militia or a military. Just period, as long as you control it. And there's a little description that tells you, and stop its hammer time, which I fucking love that. There's a bunch of little silly things like that. So yeah, it's fantastic. This game's great. I do definitely recommend it. It can be very hard sometimes, which is gotta get used to it. But we have different victory conditions, which in this one is, I believe, fame, commercial influence, which commercial influence is trading. You have to get White House to do that. And, what else is there? Domination, which is not dominatrix, domination, which is just killing everybody else, because fuck them. They're not as good as you. And, yeah, that's the only ones I can remember right now. Either way, oh yeah, fame. I completely forgot about fame. You can win by fame, which is kind of hard and kind of time consuming unless you have a bunch of longships and you can just set them all to raid fame instead of war. Oh yeah, offering wells boost your positivity, so it's passive. You trade factions to gain their favors so they can join you and you can get special stuff from them. With dwarves, you get 2 dwarf buddies that can mine and forge. With kobolds, you can trade kobolds and then just cop occupy different territories by spending money, and the kobolds stay there as like bodyguards type stuff for that zone. Bunch of different stuff, bunch of different fun stuff, and offering whales do that passively, so you don't have to build a trading post and actually trade resources to them. It just does it automatically, which is very great. Okay, so right now we are in somewhat of a race to see how fast people can build a relic. Our rival Rakran has got the edge because they started it first, but I've been back to back doing overwalking, and I am like just behind them. I'm not kidding. They started like 2 months ago in game time, and they had 2 months head start, but I've just been back to back overwalking constantly. Nobody's gonna die after this. But with these victory conditions, more specifically, is domination and fame. That's about it. But we have the two main kobold factions that we know being befriended. We don't know of any others. And our relic's almost done, which every single... Oh, looks like our rival clan beat us. Either way, each clan has their own special relic, and then a set, like, different generic relics, like Thor's Hammer, that can really screw over people, but you can't do it on Town Halls, if I remember correctly. But yeah, there's a bunch of stuff. Now, kobolds cannot go into the Wyvern area, I don't think. Food cycles also bring up the max amount of food. But Forge can craft relics, can give upgrades to sword units like Lumberjacks if you upgrade that. Oh yeah, Kraken event, forgot about that. Relic does take a price to build it, but shit, what I was talking about. Each clan has their own relic and generic relics. That's about it. After we put the relic down, we can summon a giant boy or wolf, whatever you want to say it is. I think it should have just been a big ass rat. That would have been funny to me. But this is very useful for military. But the file, which I have not explained, if one of you guys dies or you kill a wild animal, then boom, that fire starts for however many yada yadas. But the very special thing about that boy is that if that file is not lit, then it will degrade and lose health. But if you have shamans in the area in the same area, it will not degrade because it'll just be being healed. So that's a loophole that I like. Very useful. But yeah, it does heal on the battlefield if that file is going. The more stuff you kill outside the area, the better. Outside of your territory. So like, right, creatures, kobolds, drugs. Yes, I call them drugs, even though they're some things. Undead people. Fallen soldiers, I believe. But yeah. Oh yeah, everything takes iron in the Voyage, which kind of makes sense. Iron can be begotten from fucking iron deposits. Stone can be gotten from stone deposits. Stone deposits give you stone, obviously, but you can use that to upgrade different stuff. You have to upgrade your Town Hall first before you can upgrade anything else. Upgraded military bases do not add on to that region first thing. It's just the quantity, not quality. But the upgraded military bases do give you more warband, just by one, but still it's better than nothing. I do always recommend having at least one shaman camp, or at least one, for rats, one shaman camp in every territory. Oh yeah, your reward chief is also a shaman, and she has a special ability once you get to that area in war, where she can sacrifice some for health to heal everybody passively in like 5 seconds. In 45 seconds. So that's very useful unless she's the main damage taker. But yeah, quantity is quality in this game for your rats. Rats more specifically. And the tentacle event is here, Kraken event, that will go down destroying different boats if you don't stop the raids. This, I was expecting it just to die. It did not, oddly. But it can, Kraken Clan can actually summon these, which can be a real snag to people who have these as their main moneymaker. So yeah, time to jump to something a little more important. Okay, so scouts discover different areas, and upgraded scouts camps can discover the enemy areas. So we discovered the rat's town hall. Now, after we are going to kill it. The war chief does not cost iron for your rat clan. Everyone else does, except for the bull. The bull costs a shit ton extra, but also the bull is not important right now. But you just need 150 gold, 150 crowns or norns, whatever you want to call it, and 10 people injured during, at least what the game says, injured. And then, well, there you go. Boom, you can summon her. Now, she is a shaman, as I said. She's very special, but as we take the town hall of the enemy, once you take this, the entire clan is dead. So you can either very much torture them by slowly killing each and every single one of their territories, or you can just carve your way with the least possible damaging routes, or just make one and take out the town hall and boom, they're dead. The same thing can happen to you, and I've actually seen people die because of a wolf attack killing their main town hall, which is very funny to me. I don't know why. But yes, we've destroyed the town hall, and now that we discovered the bulls, we can slowly carve our way into their territory to win the game. I don't know why the video's glitching out. OBS is just weird like that. But yes, I forgot to mention wild animal attacks. Wolves, mostly wolves, sometimes drugs. Again, that's what I call them, and the mafia, which are just dark elves. Drugs, wild animals, just wild creatures do go into your territory, try to just unclaim it for you. I don't know why, but it can be very dangerous, or just free military experience. That's all. Especially if you have 10 units, two special units, one a relic, one a war chief. But you can also claim the enemy's settlement. The enemy's used to be land from when you're taking it. But just note, the farther out you are, the farther out villagers your main villager group will be. But buildings will be on fire after you claim it, unless you have to send villagers to repair it, which costs a little bit of wood, nothing much. Oh yeah, the Rogue Huston, I think it's called. The Rogue Huston is another group of kobolds. There's actually Jotun kobolds, dwarves, the mafia, not that mafia, dark elf mafia, which are very useful, and a bunch of different stuff. I don't remember exactly right now, but this game has come a long way from when I started playing it. As we carve our way through the Rogue Huston. Why does that sound German? But we carve our way through that, getting military experience, because I want to have Call of Valhalla before we even touch the enemy. Well, the newest enemy. But yeah, I'm going to get as much military experience as we can, then just try to carve our way through to the enemy town hall, take that, call it a day for this mission. After spawn camping some kobolds, we were able to get Call Valhalla, so now we are heading into the territory, which, good God, they had a lot more guys and were willing to sacrifice everybody. Like, my war chief died because I was just trying to save a couple of people. I had to retreat, but the Bull faction is very powerful with their war chief can be very powerful, and I mean, like, devastating. But one of his biggest weaknesses is early game and, well, defense tower. No, that is not a joke. A defense tower can bring him down. Not really, but he will be focused on defense tower, and then all I have to do is just send all of your units behind him, and it'll kill him pretty easily. No, I'm not kidding. That's one of the best ways to defeat him. But I've already killed him because, well, I'm Rats. Rats hold a grudge. Which, the Rat faction is not immune to the Rat events, which I think is a little sketchy. But as we attack it, we get Call Valhalla and Rast Stand, which is actually... A Rast Stand is a thing for shamans after you upgrade them. It gives more attack power, I think. And if you have pain support, I believe it's called, they attack faster and attack harder when they're wounded. So it's crazy insane. And since they do not heal unless it's a neutral territory, so they will not heal because it's still an enemy territory even though we're capturing it. After it's captured, they will heal. Call Valhalla turns different stuff into battlegrounds after like 10 units have died, giving a buff to us. And it lasts for a pretty long time. As I said, the AI is not the best, as that one warrior is just off in that one zone waiting for orders. But they've thrown everything at us, and, well, we've won. Ta-da! That is the first of many stuff. In-game statistics show what people had, like military, food, wood, money, yada yada. Military experience, which I shut up on that because, well, I'm that good. Now it's time to return to conquest map and, well, see what our stuff is. Important knowledge is the top one, which has some of the most annoying factions and powerful in damage dealing. Snakes are just annoying. The wolves are very powerful. The wolves and dragons are some of the top damage dealers. But we have an option in Race to the Tree of Life, because I cannot say that to save my soul, which we have to go up against. We have to race to occupy the Tree of Life area, which costs a bunch of food and is guarded by 4 Evolved Valkyries, which are pretty powerful. We have to race to that against the elk, and when I was playing this, I couldn't remember what it was, and I just assumed wolves, but the Lynx faction, which is actually pretty fun to play. I do recommend that. But yeah, we're going to go up against that, and I'm going to have one of my biggest brain ideas. I am not kidding. And for some reason, when I was actually playing this, I couldn't remember if the area costed money to capture. So I just was rushing to get to it first to get enough military to kill the fallen Valkyrie and then just claim it and win, because I felt very rushed, so I was just trying to get it done fast. I didn't realize, yes, it cost 1,600 food to occupy. Now, it only takes a month to occupy now because special rules and shit, and it's much bigger. But it does cost that amount of food. And in the main game, if you have that, it costs, like, I think 4 months to occupy. So I have to defend it for 4 months. Sorry, insane. But as I develop my city and try to get everything under control, we shall continue from here. I get some military, precisely 4, and now we're gonna go fight a Bale. Now, a trick with this is just to micromanage it. The one unit that's taking the most damage, bring her out of the zone, then back in, and the enemy will just cycle so that unit does not die. So you can save units, which can be slightly tedious, but it's very, very useful. And now we just go to regions again after getting that military experience because, well, that's my favorite. And yeah, I still, at this point, I'm still like, okay, I just need to get some food so then my colony can be safe as I get ready to fight the Valkyries and then claim it. Again, forgetting that it costs food to occupy. At this point in the video, I've already tried to attack the Tree of Life to get rid of fallen Valkyries. I killed one, but there's still 3 left. Found the Thor's Raft on this map, and then had the best idea yet. Unless I declare war on the other factions, they will not attack me. So what if I just occupy the surrounding areas of the tree and blocking everyone except me from getting to it? That was one of my best ideas this entire year so far. I absolutely fucking loved it. But I'm not sure how close factions are, how far the factions are, and there's a blizzard coming up, which is fun. So I have to get prepared for that. Blizzards have a ton of food and wood reduction, so stockpiling is going to be your best bet. But if you have enough production to survive a blizzard, then you deserve applause, because that's impressive. Especially for a early game. Late game is not that impressive, but it is still good job. And now the blizzard's going to hit in less than a month. The timing in this game is a little weird because, well, you go through years, and I'm not exactly sure, but you go through years fast and winter comes fast. But luckily, it's mostly summer and spring that you don't have to worry about. Events still happen all year round, and it will graduate you on a new year after winter, so after February. So yeah, skipping some more parts, we have survived the blizzard and have occupied 2 new territories surrounding the tree. That's about almost all the stuff we need. Then you can just use it. But the last territory is a wolf's den, which can give you some iron and experience and other stuff. But it's very hard to get, and it will keep spawning wolves until you claim it. So if you just surround it, that's basically an XP farm, I think. But I see a undiscovered territory right by. So I am very afraid, and I am building defense towers in every territory that is exposed. Mainly because I don't want anyone attacking and just being able to take it. Defense towers are just there as warnings. So yes, someone's attacking. Defense tower can hold them off until get there. Oddly enough, this was like a little a little unentertaining through most of it, but it was definitely worth it. So we have discovered the Elk Clan. Now, I don't really care as long as he doesn't attack me, even though I cleared out the area, he just colonized it. The bitch. Either way, as long as he doesn't attack me, we good, and as long as I don't go into his territory, we'd be good. Because going in his territory apparently causes war. I was having some money trouble at the moment, so I had to build another dock before I probably should just build a trading post sooner, but I had one guy like on the outskirts building stuff, and but war again. There's a bunch of good stuff that can help you in battle and not in battle. The middle is military, top is industry and like health, and the bottom is production. It doesn't tell you that, but that's why I've concluded. Invasion, it's like kind of you kill kobolds to get their favorite stuff, so then you trade it with the same kobold faction or a different one. I don't know why I built a forge. I was never going to use it. But the enemy, the elk enemy, has chosen the Guardian, so they have a defense tower, an actual defense tower. Watchtower, that's what it's called, my bad. And I still have not taken care of that one wolf. So I'm gonna do that. So the forge was useful. I upgraded my one warband, so now all of them have upgraded stuff to do more stuff to have the ability with. And since I'm broke at the moment and can barely afford the rents in the game, I have to wait a bit or just scrap the idea of Alaric, which I don't know what much use it would be right now. Oh yeah, the dwarves want gemstones. That event like pops up different gemstones and you have to mine it and then trade with them. If you do that, then they become very friendly towards you and start giving you free shit. Ion, more or less. Each like faction or each creature faction, that's what I'm going to call kobolds, dwarves, and yada yadas, the mafia, have their favorite resource and then resources they will not accept. For dwarves, it's stone and iron. Their favorite resource is food, I think. Yeah, food. Kobolds' favorite resource is wood. The mafia, dark elves, working things. That favorite item is, I believe, iron, and there's an event that you have to give them iron, because if you don't meet that like quota of iron, they will attack you and take your shit, which is never fun. But right now I'm pretty rich in food. I just need to build food silos to upgrade my food capacity to get enough to claim the Tree of Life, and then, well, after that, all I have to do is just kill the Valkyries and then claim it. Then bada bing bada boom, done. If you ever find yourself in a situation like this, please, for the love of God, just surround a tree. It is very useful. And it's definitely recommended now. Okay, so I have the food storage to do it, I just don't have the food right now. And I have the military presence to go kill the Valkyries. And, well, probably shouldn't micromanage them because it would just be more or less a waste. And now that's all done, I just need to, well, I need to get some more food production going, because overwalking I have +2 food, which is very not good. I just have to put some shamans back into the town hall, so then they can start gathering food again. Houses and town halls can revolt whatever unit that villager is now back to a villager. So farmer back to villager, yada yada. But yeah, I do not have that good of a history with dwarves, just so you know. But as they get ready for shamans just to overwalk back to back, I have to have a shaman in every single zone that has more or less population and production, so then nobody dies and I can get food. So yeah. There's not much in what I can choose now, because all I just need to do is just wait for food. Sadly, there's not a blessing that gives you food, but 3 blessings do different stuff. Freya's blessing reduce the wood by 30 during winter, wood reduction, and food reduction by 50 if I remember correctly. One just gives you stone and iron, and then another one gives you happiness. Okay, now moving on to when I actually have enough food to do the shit. That was quick. I mean, really quick. Now, all we have to do is wait a month for it to claim. Then, boom, we win. Now, Square Crane does have a tree of life food that helps them, because it makes enemies evading sometimes go crazy and attack their own fellow units, which, no bueno. And now all I have to do is just wait a little bit until Tree of Life claims. And this video has gone a little longer than expected, but here is the sped up version of the how everything went. Yeah, I just speed ran to the thing. Okay, now 2 new missions opened up that we can do. One, we have to fight a snake, rat, and dragon clan. Super colony, basically, if you know ants. All of them being the same color means that they're all on the same team and will back each other up. Or we have to hunt down 11 Jotun and beat the most powerful, one of the most powerful DPS clans. So yeah, we're gonna have to try that shit. We should do that in the next episode. Hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe.